that Logan Webb wasn't good enough. It's all the lineup, this, that. It's just, let's be real. Logan Webb is paid to be the leader of the staff. He's the leader of his team. And over the last 4 starts, 5 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs. All right? You get rocked in the All-Star break. You get rocked in the NL All-Star game, NL All-Star game, whatever it is, Major League Baseball All-Star game. You get rocked in that inning, give up 3 runs. Then you come out in Colorado, you give up 8 hits, 4 runs, and you walk 4 guys. And then yesterday at Dodger Stadium, you give up 9 hits, 4 runs, and strike out 4, give up 3 walks. It's not good enough from your ace, Logan Webb. It's not good enough, and his team's not good enough, so let's just pull the plug. All the thick pieces, everybody fighting for their jobs. Let's just be real. This era of Giants baseball under Farhan Zaidi is officially dead. And now we're just waiting on the days. When will he get fired? September 1st, August 1st, August 15th, September 30th. It's just a matter of time because what I see on the day-to-day basis as we're sitting up here in the day game, Shasky, neglecting our naps to watch this trash every single day. It's over. This era of Giants baseball is over. They're just not good enough.
I feel like today it got to you.
It didn't get to me. I'm just tired of talking about it. It's just something I've been talking about for 2.5 years.
You and I were on the phone yesterday, and you're like, Logan Webb, he's just not good enough.
It's just not good enough.
But I think, okay, so there's a couple of things. Put a bookmark in Nick Ahmed, because I thought it to be very symbolic for just a second.
Wow.
That's a bigger Farhan conversation. I always find it interesting when an organization has a group of fans who watched multiple elite dudes who did it over many years, right? It's one thing to be really good for a long stretch of a season. It's another thing to do it 2 and 3 and 4 seasons in a row. Like, that's what separates the truly greats, the Mahomes, right? The Lincecums, the Kershaws, the Steph Currys, from the Jordan Pooles, right? There are a lot of guys that can have a great year. You know, Blake Snell is a great example. Blake Snell is a wild variance. When he's on, he is as good as anyone. But he has other stretches where it's abysmal, right? And so it's very difficult to categorize him, right? Justin Verlander is an ace. Now, he's 41 years old, so he's not still that player. But when we say ace, okay, in my mind, Pedro, Lincecum,
Clemens,
Mad Bum at one point, okay?
Randy
and Mad
Johnson.
Bum was not an ace his entirety of his career.
No,
Neither was
wasn't.
Matt Cain. Who else did you say?
Randy Johnson,
Kurt Schilling for long stretches, okay?
Johan Santana.
Exactly. There was a time when Roy Oswalt was an ace.
He was.
But then later on in his career, he was not.
He was a 3 or 4.
Exactly.
Cole Hamels.
All right? And so Logan Webb is a really, really, really good pitcher. I think he's a front of the rotation type of a guy.
Right.
But ideally, he's like a 2. And I don't think that's some negative thing.
No,
but
it's not.
It's not. He's really only been ace-like, and what I mean, like, truly dominant for those 2 months in 2021, and they were outstanding. Since then, it's kind of been up and down. And you can give me all the raw data you want, and he eats up innings unlike any other player in baseball. But I haven't seen a half dozen starts in a row where he's had truly electric stuff, where he has carried this team into the 7th and 8th inning, handed them the ball with an opportunity to win those games. Now, you can say, Joe, he doesn't get enough run support. And you're right, he doesn't get a lot of run support. But go by the eyeball. Watch the games.
No, watch it. He's leaving balls up. He's getting tagged.
And I
He's
love
walking
him.
guys.
He's a really good player.
But in the month of July, when they've needed him, opponents are hitting .344 against him. He's got a 6.65 ERA in the month of July. All right? 23 innings. He's given up 32 hits in those 23 innings. He's only struck out 18 in those 23 innings, and he's walked 9. He's allowing multiple base runners. That's 41 base runners in 23 innings. It's simply not good enough, and teams are squaring the ball up on him. They're hitting .344 against him in these starts in July, Shasky.
Can we be also fair? Like, he cannot be a quote-unquote dynamic. Guys, I don't think there's like 5 or 6 aces in today's game. But, like, he's also miscast. He's asked to carry everything for this team. It's unfair.
No,
like,
it is
both
unfair.
Are true. He hasn't been great, but like the way that this thing has been set up, like, and Lubman, I'm not trying to come down your road, so please don't feel like I'm attacking you. But like, well, their grandiose plan was Jordan Hicks will be good for 2 months, and then he'll be done because he can't finish the season. And then Robbie Ray, returning from Tommy John, he'll pick it up from there, and he'll be good. We're going to sew this thing together. That's not fair to your other guy in Logan Webb. You're asking way too much. Like, when I look at a staff, they all feed off of each other. And there are times where the top of the rotation is going to carry the bottom of the rotation. And there's going to be times when the bottom of the rotation has to carry the top of the rotation. Too many times, this organization is asking way too much from a small amount of people on this team. And that goes back to Farhan. And when I watched Nick Ahmed step up to the plate and hit a home run after you fought tooth and nail, and Michael Conforto, who's 1 for 8,000 since the All-Star break, gets a big hit off the wall, I go, Loveman's guy is stepping up to the plate. Nick Ahmed.
You just knew he was going to hit a home run.
Monte, it symbolized with a chef's kiss everything that has been wrong with the Farhan era. A 34-year-old shortstop journeyman who was brought in to just be a body in camp, ended up starting for multiple months for your team and stymied some young players, even though the young players, whatever, we'll get to them in a second, because your farm's not ready, okay? You went with that guy for multiple months, DFA'd him, and then he resurfaces and hits a home run to knock you out. And basically all these judges, now you have to sell. We've been saying sell for months. You morons. Are you just opening your eyes?
Well, no, you had to sit back and see this thing play out.
They've been crummy for 3 years.
They have been crummy, but they got hot. And everybody was, you two included.
I know.
So you two included was flipping back and forth, and it's okay. That's what we do with baseball. But when the GM, the president of baseball, and now I'll go back to this quote, when he told Susan Slusser, the stakes are high for this team. And then Greg Johnson's puffing his chest out, going on the podcast saying that it's mandatory we get to the playoffs. We talk to Flim all the time. Aren't we talking to Flim today?
Yeah.
Talking to Flim today at 8:30. They got to make the playoffs. The expectations don't change despite playing the youngsters. So that's the setting. And in the setting at Dodger Stadium yesterday, the glorious sun and the day game with Clayton Kershaw back for the L.A. Dodgers, pitching for the first time all season, and he goes 4 innings. They're starting in left field, a guy nobody knows about, Derek Hill. That's where we're at in late July. We're starting Derek Hill.
He lives
over
for
Matos.
That. He lives for the mid-season acquisition call-up for a guy. By the way, do you know that Matos in 1 month last year had more career at-bats than this man?
Yeah, no, I do.
And they brought this 28-year-old, and again, he's a nice guy.
At least Luke Jackson struck out the side.
Well, you had to have him on the roster because, Hayden Birdsong had to get, demoted down to
Sean Jelly.
single A.
Sean Jelly is just a matter of time for him because he gave up 3 hits in the inning. He's worn out.
Derek Hall, Ponte.
Derek Hill. Derek Hill.
Playing left field. I hardly know you.
Derek Hill, no, he's not my cousin. We're not related. So Derek Hill is playing left field.
Cousin.
He's playing left field. Tyro Estrada's going 0 for 3. So when you watch that and you watch the way they come out in the All-Star break, after the All-Star break, you win 2 games. You lose 5. You're 2-5 in the first 7. I was asking for 8-3. You're 2-7. Or excuse me, 2-5 after 7 games.
The last 2 years,
I just
they've done that.
And I see Bagley's report about selling and how they may not save money. Here's the deal. I don't care if you don't sell. You cannot go back into 2025 with Farhan Zaidi running the show.
No.
That is crystal clear. And I don't want to do a fire Farhan show because I've done it for the last 3 years. But I'm not even outraged anymore about this thing. I don't care.
No, it's pretty clear.
I just don't care.
It's pretty clear.
But it is clear that if you come back in 2025 with Farhan Zaidi, then you really want to damage your product. Because let me ask you this, Shasky. Are the Giants in a better position now than when Farhan took the job back in 2018?
You can make an argument the farm is ranked about a little better than it was when he showed up, because I've seen so many people, the farm was dead last and this all right, whatever. Like, Bonte, at the end of the day, I don't care what your ranking is. Are players making a dent on the big league team?
Okay.
Now, I'll give him this. Hayden Birdsong looks promising. Harrison looks promising. Those are his picks. Ramos, who he inherited, but he kept, he looks really promising. And his drafted pick in Bailey looks promising. Yeah. So on one element, the draft, they've gotten a little better.
They've gotten a little better.
They have.
They've gotten a little better. A little better in 6 years. A little better. and somebody's got to be fighting for their job with this organization. Alex Pavlovich, you think this came out of left field?
What do you say?
Alex Pavlovich, Giants insider, longtime Giants insider for NBC Sports Bay Area. I would say he's tapped in. I think he's tapped in. I know he's tapped in. Here's what Pav said about the Giants here heading towards the deadline.
It's a fascinating question. I mean, they do have 4 games left. They go home 6 games under 500, 5.5 out of a playoff spot. If you're just going straight off vibes, I don't know that you could have a bigger kind of swing than watching one of the teams you're chasing throw a no-hitter and then watching Nick Ahmed go out and beat you the way he did. And not just that, but Ohtani as well, a guy you chased in the offseason. So if you're going off vibes, I think the message is there. They're going to go off of what they see in this clubhouse. And, Farhan Zaidi said it a couple weeks ago on KNBR. He said, these guys will show me the way. They are 4-6 since that point. So they have not played good baseball. I think even in the wins, you don't really feel like they've ever turned a corner. So if you go off of the way they've played, they probably should be sellers, but there's a lot at stake here, not just for the guys in the clubhouse, but also the people in the front office. Potentially could be a different front office down the line if they sell and keep losing. There are some people in this organization who need to make the playoffs. So I think there's some really interesting decisions to be made until Tuesday, and we'll see what they do. If they wanted to, they could be one of the bigger sellers out there. I just haven't gotten any indication yet that they're at that point.
So, Pavlovich says something very intriguing there. There's some people in this front office who need to make the playoffs. There's some people in this organization who need to make the playoffs. Well, who is that somebody? To me, it's obvious. It's Farhan Zaidi. It's Farhan Zaidi. And so when we think about end-of-season pressers, I don't expect them to be at the end-of-season presser. I expect Farhan Zaidi to be cleaning out his office because he will be fired at some point. You can't go on with this. You just can't. I'm dead serious.
Where would
I'm not even trying to be funny.
Where would you rank him in terms of inept guys who have run organizations?
At the bottom. He's one of the worst I've seen in the Bay Area. He's one of the worst. At least Trent Baalke made some damn picks.
Yeah, he went to NFC Championship.
He made some damn picks. Scott McCoy made some damn picks.
That's true.
Now, he's on the level of Terry Donahue.
Wow.
From UCLA when he started running the 49ers.
Yeah.
He's right there. In terms of my lifetime, he's awful. No touch with the fan base, no touch with the community, no sense whatsoever.
How about him laughing about Scott Boras getting over on him? And now you read the details of all these contracts. And
Scott Boras got over on him.
At every turn.
Deferred his money, did everything.
Oh my God.
Played Farhan Zaidi. We want to talk about Jock Peterson getting pimp-slapped by Tommy Pham and not doing nothing. Well, we all get why he didn't do nothing. Tommy Pham is crazy.
Yeah, he's completely insane.
But Farhan Zaidi basically got pimped by Scott Boras over and over and over again.
Actually just got off the phone with the White House. I called to ask if negotiating 3 deals with Scott Boras in one offseason qualifies you for a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Farhan's cooked.
Well, you know what?
PPA.
Medal of Freedom, you're going to be free soon. You will have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want to do. You go play fantasy football with your buddies. You go take your kids out. I don't even know if he's got kids or a family. I don't know what the hell's up with Farhan. But you know what? You're going to have plenty of free time in the future.
So you know what's one thing I've been thinking a lot about?
You just got to go, Chasky.
I've been watching the New York Giants front, what is it called? Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, yeah.
We could argue whether Shane is a good GM or not.
I kind of like him.
Okay, but I've been saying this for a long time. Part of the GM role is that you do have to be charismatic and people do have to like you and you have to be a wheeler and dealer. It's not just about are you smart?
Right.
There are a variety of skill sets. Do I think that if John Lynch did the SAT, I'm just using that as an example. I don't even know if we do this anymore.
Well, he went to Stanford, so he probably scored high.
I know, but if we were ranking all the GMs, do I think he's the most book smart of all the GMs? No, probably not. Probably not. Does he know the advanced analytics of football? Probably not to the degree of other guys.
Yep.
But I will say this. Nobody understands how to work the room and the emotional connection and what it's like to be a player. He hits so many other boxes, right? And so I look at all the successful GMs, and it's not baseball specific, but other sports. They're really good at a variety of things.
Charisma.
And I look at Farhan and I say, nobody can, I'm not trying to go double entendre. He's not a number 1.
No.
He's a number 2. And I'm not saying that he's, that. Right. I don't mean it like that. I mean, he's a number 2 in command. He can't be your front man.
Well,
number 2.
It's funny.
I don't mean it like that.
A lot of people are doing a Homer Bush, going back into the bushes, hiding in the bushes. Because a few years ago, people were telling me, well, Farhan was really the architect of these Dodgers, not Andrew Freeman.
That's why Andrew Freeman got $10 million a year to go run the Dodgers.
No, I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow. The whole time I'm thinking, wow, Andrew Freeman built the Tampa Bay Rays, comes over to the Dodgers. But for the first 3 years of Farhan as the president of baseball operations with the San Francisco Giants, I had everybody in the world tell me that he was the true architect of the Dodgers. Well, he drafted this guy, and he drafted this guy, and he drafted this guy, he drafted this guy. Well, it looks like Andrew Freeman's doing okay without Farhan Zaidi at his side. He's doing just okay. Not only is he doing okay, he's beating the dog poop out of the Giants left and right every single year. That was their B team. Come on.
They were 1-6 in LA this year. They were 4-9 against them overall, and they won one of those, remember, in like the most awkward fashion.
Right.
I mean, whatever. It's just they're so far behind.
They're so far behind the Dodgers. It's not even funny. So when you talk about connection, and there are rumors, because we all have sources. Sources. You know, people in the Giants organization. I know people in the Giants organization. This is 4 years ago. Somebody was telling me, no, Farhan's not really a people person, man. He's kind of a jerk. Like, this is 4 years ago. People were telling me this at a breakfast. Like, yo, Farhan ain't that guy. Farhan, I don't know, man. He basically, so just in terms of just having him, and I'm thinking about Larry Bear right now. Say what you want about Larry Bear. He gets it.
Oh, I know he's not
He gets
happy.
it.
I know
he's
he wants
personable.
to win, too.
He's personable.
Yeah.
He's charismatic.
I'm with you.
He
on
knows
that.
what time it is. Larry Bear can't be happy with what the hell's going on. Because you know why? They've lost this market. They've lost the true fan.
They have.
Giants baseball's never been lower. This is the lowest Giants baseball's been since probably 95, 96.
Yeah.
When they're in between Candlestick Park right after the strike here, they're a little lost. And then Sabian makes the big deal with Matt Williams. That's about it. Even post Bonds, it was like, okay, we get it. You got to rebuild. Yeah. You got some pitching in the pipeline. You got a stadium. Yeah. Let's see where this goes. Let's see if Sabian reinvent this bad boy, and let's see these pitchers come up. This is as low as I've felt as a Giants fan in a long, long time. And it's mostly due to Farhan Zaidi killing the vibe, killing the organization with this platooning and these Derek Hills and Michael Reeds and Connor Joes and David Villars and all these journeymen. And now Tyler Rogers is getting rocked left and right. Camilo Duvall can't find his own. Randy Rodriguez's arm's going to fall off. It's the same damn thing for the second straight year where we don't got starting pitching. We don't got bullpen help. We don't got a lineup. I'm watching Jorge Soler bat 224 in the leadoff spot. This is done. Stick a fork in this era. Stick a fork in Farhan Zaidi. Enough is enough, Larry. Enough is enough, Buster Posey. Enough is enough, Greg Johnson. Do your deal and get rid of this guy because Giants baseball needs life. And right now it has no life whatsoever. No spark, no jolt. It is still as hell. Clean house, and let's start anew.
I'm going to tell you on the other side, the trade packages in my head that I would make yesterday.
Well, I don't care what they do. Just get rid of Farhan. Get rid of Farhan. I don't even want Farhan making trades. Get rid of him. He should not even have the power to make a trade.
Just fire everybody.
Get rid of him before you do anything. I'd rather guys just walk for free than Farhan messing with this thing and trade for some low-level prospect that we'll never see in our lives. Get rid of Farhan yesterday, for crying out loud. Oh, my God. He's killed Giants baseball. All right, we're coming up. Brought to you by Fremont Bank, celebrating 60 years of full-service banking with no